Hi, Jyoti here, and welcome to Lost in Literature. Today I'm going to do William Wordsworth's The Solitary Reaper. It's a poem taken up in most of the schools, and I must say it's a very interesting poem from the point of view of crafting. So let me plunge into it without further ado. The Solitary Reaper, stanza 1. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland Lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. Stanza 1 for you. The very opening line begins with an imperative sentence. Behold her, look at her, and she's single in the field. Why is she single in the field? I wonder. Okay, anyway, look at her is the instruction. So we can imagine her. And why has the poet used an imperative sentence here? He is straight away connected with us, readers. It's exactly what he has done. And now he gives you a little more detail about the solitary reaper. Yon solitary Highland Lass. She belongs to the Scottish Highlands and she's quite a young maiden. She's reaping and singing by herself. Stop here, another instruction for you. Pause here or gently pass. Why does he do that again? Because he is listening to her song. See, songs and poems, they call for a reader or listener. And thus the poet has kind of established a three-way communication from him to us and from the singer to him. And through him, we are getting the experience of the singer singing that song in the field while she is cutting the grain. Right, so it is a kind of triangular pyramidal connection. Alone she cuts and binds the grain. Once again, alone. She's alone. She's singing by herself. She's a solitary lass. She's single in the field. And then the title, of course, The Solitary Reaper. Why on earth is the poet telling us so many times that she's alone? I want to ask him, hey man, I know she's alone. Why are you going on telling me that? But think about it. When somebody says, she's alone, she's alone, she's alone, then you want to ask that person, what the hell are you doing there? And thus the poet implicates his presence in the place where the solitary reaper is working and singing. And what kind of song is she singing? She's singing a melancholy strain, a rather sad song. And is she singing softly? No, it's pretty loud. And the valley, the field is in a valley, the field, so to speak. And the valley is this deep valley. The Vale profound is overflowing with the sound. You can imagine the sound reverberating, echoing throughout the valley. So that's what we have in the first stanza, and I must say it's very, very clever crafting, where the poet has established a connection with the reader and he's passing on to us the song of the reaper, what this experience was all about. So let's move on to the second stanza. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo-bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the furthest Hebrides. Again, in this stanza, Wordsworth is definitely commenting on the quality of the reaper's song. According to him, her singing is super, okay? It belongs to the superlative degree. And he is giving us two comparisons here. And according to him, she sings better than a nightingale whose song could be heard by travelers in the desert as they are walking or maybe riding, plodding through the sand or riding a camel. They are definitely tired, looking for a water hole, and when they hear the sound of the nightingale calling, the song of the nightingale, they find it absolutely welcome for the simple reason it indicates the presence of an oasis nearby. A bird is naturally where there is a tree, and usually the oasis has quite a number of these palm trees around, a pool of water. So this is a very welcome sign to the traveler, and he is thrilled. And the nightingale's song is absolutely welcome to him, but the solitary reaper's song is better than that. And now the poet gives us another comparison, and that is the cuckoo-bird. And the cuckoo-bird, its cooing or singing can be heard across the silent seas. Why silent? Because it's the end of winter time, and maybe the maritime activities are comparatively fewer, and the cuckoo-bird at this point of time heralds the coming of spring, which is most welcome to people inhabiting the islands of Hebrides. And these islands, many of them, a very large cluster of them, they lie on the northwest of Scotland. So you can imagine what a cold winter they would have had and how welcome the cuckoo's call would be to them. But again, the solitary reaper's song is far more welcome than the cuckoo birds, and certainly the poet finds her song, her voice, her rendering absolutely refreshing. It drives away his fatigue. You must remember he's walking through the valley, an up and down path. So let's move on now to the third stanza. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old unhappy far off things and battles long ago, Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again? And now he has moved on to the theme of the song. What is she singing? He can't understand it for the life of him because obviously the lyrics are in another language, probably a Scottish dialect, which he has no clue of. And so he imagines maybe the sad song is about some historical happening long ago, maybe a battle, and she's singing about that, or maybe it is some present day occurrence. He cannot figure out. Maybe she's singing about some sorrow, some loss, or some pain. All he can make out from the tone is that the song is a rather sad one. But whatever the theme is, he appreciates it. And that's the beauty of music. And now stanza 4. Whatever the theme, the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work and over the sickle bending. I listened, motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore long after it was heard no more. So that is the quality of music. He couldn't care less what the theme was, but the maiden sang on and on as if there was no end to the song. And frankly, the poet was enraptured with the song, and so enraptured was he over the song and of the sight of her bending over and, cutting the grain with her sickle, that he just stopped there. He was spellbound. He couldn't move. He stood there, still and motionless, and he listened to her. And finally, when the spell broke and he could move up the hill, climb his way up, the music he bore in his heart. Why? Because music is something universal, and we don't forget it. The refrain, the notes of the music, it keeps playing in our mind again and again. And that's what happens to most of us. We're all bathroom singers, or if we like a song, we keep humming it. Whenever we are doing some kind of work, we carry it with us, and that's exactly the quality of music. Long, long after the poet passed through this hill and heard the song of the solitary reaper, he carried it in his heart. And this is, the premise on which, or rather, this is the principle on which a lot of romantic poetry came from Wordsworth. He was a nature poet, and he loved nature, and he noted many things about nature. And according to him, music and many other visual experiences are beyond time and place, because you carry it in your heart, in the screen of your mind, and long after the event is over, you can recall it. And that's what he does with the daffodils too. And now the song of the reaper. So music is beyond space, beyond time. It is something we carry in our heart and in our mind. Well, if you like this, do subscribe for me, and I hope to see you again. Bye for now.